Did you know that behind the loud anthems, smashing guitars, and thunderous drum solos of one of rock's most explosive bands lies a story filled with brilliance, brotherhood, tragedy, and resilience? The Who weren't just a band. They were a cultural force that tore through the 60s and 70s with unrelenting energy. But as time moved on, the spotlight dimmed for some, while still burning brightly for others who continue to carry the torch. In this video, we're diving deep into the lives and losses of the band members who are no longer with us, while also shining a light on those who still stand on stage, keeping the Who alive. From the wildest drummer rock ever saw, to the thunder-fingered bassist, and the early rhythm keeper whose name often goes unsung, we're uncovering it all. Before we crank the volume, tell us in the comments, what's your favorite track from The Who? Is it Baba O'Reilly, My Generation, or something deeper from their discography? And don't forget to subscribe for more unforgettable journeys. Formed in 1964, The Who became a force of sonic rebellion with hits like Pinball Wizard, Won't Get Fooled Again, and I Can See for Miles, leaving behind a catalog that still pulses with life. Let's start with the man behind the drums, the heartbeat of The Who. He was wild, unpredictable, and arguably one of the most explosive drummers rock music has ever seen. Keith Moon. Known for his eccentric style and offstage chaos, Moon's drumming wasn't just about rhythm, it was about spectacle. His work on tracks like The Real Me and Bellboy showcased both his ferocity and flair, adding raw energy that few could match. But behind the manic genius was a man spiraling into addiction. Keith passed away in 1978 at the age of 32 due to an overdose of heminevrin, a drug meant to combat alcohol withdrawal. He died in London, in the flat of his friend Harry Nilsson, ironically, the same place where Mama Cass had passed just 4 years earlier. Keith Moon was cremated at Golders Green Crematorium. He left behind a daughter, Amanda, and was briefly married to Kim Moon, though their relationship was stormy. Moon's death marked the end of an era, yet his influence on drumming lives on. Next, we remember the thunder beneath the melodic, stoic, unshakable bassist, Jon Entwistle. Nicknamed the Ox for good reason, Entwistle gave The Who a deep, complex foundation with bass lines that moved like molten lava beneath their explosive sound. Just listen to My Generation or The Real Me, and you'll hear his genius. He was the calm amid the storm, often bridging the tension between Pete Townshend and Roger Daltrey. But Jon lived a quiet contradiction. While calm on stage, he lived large off it. In 2002, just a day before The Who were set to begin a U.S. tour, Entwistle died in his hotel room at the Hard Rock Hotel in Las Vegas. He was 57. The cause? A heart attack induced by cocaine use. He was cremated, and his ashes were buried in the churchyard of St. Edward's Church in Stow-on-the-Wold, Gloucestershire. Jon had one son, Christopher, and had been married to Alison Entwistle. His loss struck hard not only musically but emotionally, as he had been the steady backbone of the band for decades. But before either of these titans took the stage, there was another, the original drummer of The Who, Doug Sandum. Often overshadowed by Moon's legacy, Doug's contribution in the band's earliest days was foundational. He was part of the group's pre-fame evolution from the Detours to The Who. However, due to personal and creative tensions, largely with Pete Townshend, Doug left the band in 1964, just before they exploded into stardom. While he didn't get to share in the glory years, he remained a proud part of The Who's formation story. Doug passed away in February 2019 at the age of 89. Though his cause of death wasn't publicly disclosed, his passing marked the quiet end of one of the band's original architects. He lived a longer, more private life, and unlike the others, his departure was not marred by excess or fame. And yet, the music still lives. Today, The Who continues to perform, led by the indomitable Roger Daltrey and the ever-enigmatic Pete Townshend. They've released new material, including the 2019 album WHO, featuring tracks like Ball and Chain and I Don't Wanna Get Wise. Though the lineup has changed, the spirit remains. Touring with support musicians like Zach Starkey on drums of Ringo Starr and a student of their late drummer and bassist John Button, they honor the past while electrifying new generations. So, as the echoes of Entwistle's bass and Moon's thunder roll through rock history, And as the memory of Doug Sandum keeps the origin story alive, we honor their legacy not with silence, but with sound. If their music ever moved you, if you've ever shouted the chorus of Won't Get Fooled Again into the night, then hit that subscribe button, leave us a like, and drop your favorite Who track below. Because the story of The Who isn't just about those we've lost, it's about those still playing, and the fans still listening.